When he was about 13, maybe 14 years old, Ted sees his birth certificate that in the space of the father, it says unknown. We don't know who the father was. See, he didn't know before then that he was illegitimate. I don't think he ever got over that.
I was fairly certain that his illegitimacy was a major issue, and added to any shyness and feelings of inferiority Ted might have already had up to this point in his life.
Felt like I was pretty much in sync with my peers, well, emotionally, socially, what have you, in junior high school. And I can't explain why the shift.
What kind of shift?
Just feeling less involved, less a part of what's happening, more shyer, more inhibited socially. Yeah, well, in high school I was spending a lot more time alone. I was feeling increasingly isolated, I think, from my friends.
He didn't date. He was lonely. He was a lonely kid. So a kid who is really lonely, shy, he spends more time in fantasy and it becomes deeper fantasy.
What form did it start to take in terms of fantasy?
The only fantasy I can remember in particular this time, and I don't know whether it was a fantasy that I used as part of masturbation, but it could have been. Had to do with, I think, stumbling upon some girls sunbathing.
You stumbled upon that?
But I would be watching some girls.
My grandpa actually had a theory that fantasy was kind of the gateway to becoming a serial offender. Most serial killers started with fantasizing.
So you get that whole fantasy structure. And then when it gets up to the teenage years and they go through puberty and they start getting that whole sexual thing going, then it begins to shift into romantic fantasy.
In his teens, Ted had a sexual interest of looking down from his room into his neighbor's bathroom.
There was some behavior when I was 12 to 14, 15. I had an upstairs bedroom that overlooked the bathroom of the next door neighbors. And I would sometimes sit there and try to see through the steamy window.
The important thing about the window is there's an intensity to it. The more intense it gets, the more a person becomes sort of semi-addicted.